One of the themes in a lot of my videos is that a real estate consultant, like a land surveyor, or civil engineer, appraiser, real estate broker, any of the above, architect, they should really work to put the client's needs ahead of their own needs or interests, especially their financial interests. That's part of what being a good consultant is. And the primary way that you do that as a consultant is, you don't take work from your client if you know that's not going to help your client get to their end goal. You don't create unnecessary change orders. You don't make the client jump through hoops that they don't need to jump through. And so we try and practice that here at Redefined Horizons. We take that very seriously. And so I wanted to just explain and practice how that works with a short story that came up on a project we worked on last month. So this is a redevelopment project in my hometown of Stockton. It's a commercial parcel. And the client was actually a nonprofit. So we were doing some work with a nonprofit. And so, we take the way we spend our clients' money very seriously for every client, but especially with the nonprofit. These are folks that are trying to do good in the world, which we respect and value. And so with a nonprofit client, especially, we're even more careful with how we spend money. And so as part of this redevelopment project, we're working with the architect and the civil engineer, and they tell us, go out, we do a topo survey and dip all the utility structures. It was okay. Got our marching orders. We're heading out. Well, this project's on a couple of very busy roads, some of the busiest roads in Stockton, and there's no way to dip the manholes without traffic control. I don't take safety lightly here. We don't do work in busy roads without traffic control. So I let the engineer know, hey, and this was actually before we're under contract. I said, hey, I just want to let you know, we're probably going to need traffic control for some of these dips. I gave him a rough price. I said, we're happy to get started on this work, but just understand that, I can't promise you utility dips without some traffic control. And, we're not really going to know until we get out there and see what we're dealing with. He said, understand, get out, they were in a hurry, get out there, get started, we'll figure the traffic control out. So, turns out the traffic control was, it was about double what we thought it was going to be, the cost of the traffic control. And so, I relayed this to the design team. I said, hey, this is a busy road, but what you guys are asking for is, it's a day or two of traffic control. It's going to be expensive. And so they were, obviously nobody was happy with that. We're trying to figure out what to do. I'll tell you what most land surveyors would do in that situation. They would just tell the client tough. And they would say, you're paying for the traffic control, and they would go out and they'd do the work and they'd bill the client the cost for the traffic control. Or they'd go out and they'd cowboy the dips. So they'd put their crews at risk and take a risk of somebody being run over or causing a car accident. But that's not what we didn't do. We didn't do either one of those things. So here's what we did. Because again, we're trying to be good stewards of the client's money. So we reached out to the design team and we said, hey, why don't you explain to us what exactly you're doing with the underground utilities? And let's see if we can narrow down the number of structures in the road that we need to dip. I said, while you guys are figuring that out, what you really need is, in the meantime, we're going to get a hold of the local utility service providers. We're going to get whatever data they've got, GIS data, record drawings, and let's see if we can cut down the number of structure dips that we need. And maybe we can reduce this traffic control bill. Maybe we can knock it from 2 days to one, or from 1 day to a half a day. And so we did that, and the engineer got back to us and they said, you know what, we've been talking to the architect. At this point in the project, we don't know if we're going to need to do any underground utility work. They said, so what we'd like to do is we're just going to put you guys, we're going to put that part of your scope on hold. Let us figure out what we want, what the city's going to make us do. We may have to go in and upsize our sewer service and our water line, but we might not. If we do, we think all we need to worry about is the one sewer line and the one water line adjacent to the property. We can probably narrow that down to 3 or 4 dips. And then we can, if we need to do that, we'll revisit, we'll tighten up that traffic control scope. We said, perfect, that works great for us. Let us know what the city says, what they're going to require. If we need to go back out there, we'll get this done. We'll tighten up that traffic control cost. So, what are the lessons from this story? I guess the first lesson is experience counts. You know, we've done a lot of this, me and my partner, and so you know, we understand when traffic control is going to be needed. You know, we understand what it's like to do dips in a busy road. We also understand how record drawings and GIS data can help you narrow down the amount of work you need to do in the road. So that's a lesson there. You know, work with some folks that have some experience. Another lesson is, you know, it's really important that you communicate with your surveyor design teams, right? The more your surveyor understands about what you're actually trying to do, the more he or she can help you. You know, if you got a good surveyor with experience, she's going to be able to look at what you're trying to do and find ways to save you money potentially. And a good surveyor, she's going to do that even if it narrows her own scope, because she's looking beyond the initial, the short-term gain, the initial project, and she's looking at a long-term relationship with you. She wants to build your trust. So that's important. So communicate with your surveyor. You know, as a surveyor, I can't help you save money or time unless I understand the end goals that the client's trying to accomplish. You know, you want to work with a surveyor that you trust. You know, it's going to put your needs ahead of their own needs, that knows how to ask the right questions. You want to work with a surveyor that asks questions, and you want to work with a surveyor that's going to be a wise steward of the client's money. We take pride in that here at Redefined Horizons. Clients come back to us again and again because they know that we're good stewards of their money, that we're not going to waste their money even if it puts a little more profit in our pocket.